So I was realizing that I had never done a video on our 1966 canned ham Serro Scotty that me and Kevin restored we got it in 2017, but I think we started working on it late 2018 and finished it right before COVID, 2020. And as we're working on our new camper, our 1956 Yellowstone, and I'm documenting it and going to do a video on that, I was thinking I never did one on Georgia. So I went back to Shutterfly and started gathering pictures to just put little video up on the restoration of her. There's no videos that I have of it, but I do have a lot of pictures. So, but the camper we got, we had a 23-foot cub that slept 8 that we had a lot of fun in. We had a lot of girls' trips in it. But I've always wanted an old canned ham, and my sister Darlene in Nebraska found one. So she let me know about it, and me and Kevin drove there during the eclipse and got it, brought it home. And like I said, we didn't start working on it for probably a year after we brought it home. But anyway, here's some pictures of the process that it took to get her done. So we got her home to North Carolina, and like I said, it was probably about a year before we started working on it. And once we started peeling the skin off and saw how much rot there was, we were actually surprised it made it from Nebraska to North Carolina and, didn't fall off the trailer, off the frame. But thankfully, there was still enough holding it on, and we didn't have any catastrophes. But anyway, thankfully we had found Larry. He's got a YouTube channel, Mobile Tech, Vintage Canned Hams. He teaches how to restore old vintage campers the right way. We were under the same assumption that most people are, that you just gut them and rebuild from the inside, but we found out quickly that that is the wrong way, and you have to replace all the wood that's basically bolted the whole camper onto the trailer. And most of that wood is usually rotten, and so there's nothing but sawdust holding it on. But thankfully we had enough solid structure that it made it from North Carolina, or from Nebraska to North Carolina. But anyway, you'll see in the pictures coming up that there was a ton of rot. So when you're disassembling the camper, you work from the outside. You start taking it apart from the outside and you work your way in. But when you're putting it back together, you do opposite and you start putting it together from the inside with cabinets and walls, and you work your way out. But I didn't like the look of the plywood on the inside of the walls. It was kind of a rough texture. So we put beadboard on the walls, not the ceiling, but the walls, to give it more of a finished look. So we were in the garage working on the camper, and Kevin told me, don't step back, don't step back. So I looked, and there was a copperhead coming right towards me. So he got the shovel and killed it. Poor thing.